So we're here once again to unwind and chat with friends about parenting, share the struggles and celebrate the successes. You join us, sat in our imaginary makeshift hammocks under the stars.
Oh, I like that.
Grab a rare free moment and join us across the airwaves, whether you have a baby, toddler, multiple children or none, for this special summer season in the imaginary blanket fort.
It's the summer.
It's the Don't Wake the Baby classics. Back 2 or 3 years ago when we only had one child, Lily was 3.
Yeah.
I've re-edited them, they're shorter, and we've recorded some bonus thoughts about, whether we agree with our past selves, if the experience is different with Lola, our second child.
So don't worry, it's not just the same.
If you don't already feel like you know us, then I'm Elliot. I'm the one who I like to make things, but I'm not very good at drawing.
I'm Emma. I'm the one who does like drawing and is very poor at making things.
So it's a bit different today. Again, we've got a special guest on, and in a moment we'll switch over to join a conversation with you and Fran.
Yep.
You may hear me occasionally in the background, not speaking so much as just noises and crashes. And it's not just me causing disruption. No. I was entertaining Fran's little 18-month-year-old. Fran's a friend of ours. We think we met through churchy stuff, the Kairos movement, which we're both a part of. Fran lives in York. She's a champion of all things eco and environmental stuff. And she has 3 children, 3 boys. And once again, as with our other guests, she didn't mention her husband, but...
Well, she does have a husband.
Right, well, let's get on with the episode. Here we go. We're going back in time.
And this week we have Fran with us.
Hello.
As I was going to say, eco-expert.
Oh, gosh,
Do you want to be eco-enthusiast?
Yes, let's be an enthusiast. Expert's too much.
Too much pressure.
Yeah, too much pressure. Is anyone really an expert in anything?
Well, it's true.
Yeah.
And I feel like the more expert you become, the more you realise you don't know anything.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So nobody feel pressurised listening. We're not great at being eco, really. I think because a lot of it seems expensive.
I have a whole thing about this because I also think that you're probably better than you realise. And I think there is this pressure, and I feel it a bit as like a designated eco person, that I have to be 100% eco all of the time.
Yeah.
And I feel that there is a bit of a pressure from other people. When people say to me, oh, you're really eco, so how come you are drinking a plastic bottle of Coke?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I'm sorry, if you said you were really into healthy living, I'd still say to you, it's Friday, have a bit of chocolate cake.
You wouldn't be like, how dare you eat this burger?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think eco has to be all or nothing. It's about making decisions. And I find, like, with all decision-making processes, you think really maybe about money implications and time implications. We as a family try and put sustainability implications up there with those things. So it's still making a decision. And some days I will absolutely make the decision to just, buy the pre-made rice from, the microwave rice from the supermarket because that meets the other requirements and I just need to do that. And that's absolutely fine. And I try really hard not to beat myself up about that. In fact, I actually don't. Because sometimes time is the most important thing.
Time is more precious.
Yeah, absolutely. And other days, I'll do the whole, actually, this is a day I can cook dinner in a slow cooker or whatever, and I've got a bit more time, and so the other things, sustainability comes into play. So I think when you say you're not very good at being eco, you're better than you think, I'm sure, and it doesn't have to be an all or nothing. With so many other things.
Yeah,
That's true with everything, isn't it? It doesn't have to be all or nothing.
Yeah.
You can pick and choose. It's a great thing about being human.
So from babies, well, this is something we did actually do. We did buy a ton of second-hand stuff.
Yeah.
This was a cost-saving measure. I'll say we weren't honestly thinking about the eco implications.
No.
Just Facebook Marketplace was our friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were like, great, someone's selling a car. So I would say we really didn't buy many new things at all.
Yeah, and that's a huge way in which, like, the cost thing and the sustainability thing come into play at the same time, don't they? Because second-hand is a massive way in which we can all, like, reduce our carbon footprint and think about, living in a more sustainable world and passing things on. I mean, Wilfred, especially with being third kid and doesn't need anything new because there's so much stuff in his life. He has an entire wardrobe that's been through more than 2 kids, because a lot of the clothes we got were secondhand from friends who passed on baby clothes bundles, and all the toys. But actually, his Christmas present from my sister was a load of secondhand stuff that her son had, because she knows that we don't care about that, and we don't mind about that. No. So that was quite nice for him to get new stuff, but also I know that it didn't cost her anything. In the same way that, you know, we gifted my nephew a balance bike for his second birthday, with the caveat that it needs to be gifted to Wilfred for his second birthday, because that was sort of, you know, that was how...
Yeah, we do a lot of this. So I'm assuming people listening have already listened to the podcast, but if not, I have a huge family. And we're all women. So there are a lot of children. So a lot of the time what we do, if we know basically somebody's just had a baby, they have all the stuff, we go, I'm thinking of having another one. Would you keep that for when I can have it?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then you get people dibbing stuff if they think it looks good. They're like, I'd really like that. Keep that. I'm going to have it.
Yeah, my sister had one of these like really fancy like swinging leaf chairs, and I didn't have it for the other 2, but when it was offered to me for the third, I was like, that's much better than the plastic bouncer that I borrowed off somebody else. Actually, lots of the baby equipment we borrowed off other people who'd had kids. And, I think we had a jumperoo. Were you aware? You know, the plastic monstrosities that take over your living room, which are great for approximately a 2.5 month period, and then are completely useless. Our jumperoo did our 3 kids, our friends' 2 kids, our other friends' 2 kids, and was secondhand when they got it. And the day that after Wilfred was out of it, when the original friend who'd got it secondhand said, "Have you still got that jumperoo?" I was like, yes, it is so knackered. The seat is like, it's not nice enough that you can sell it for 20 quid on Facebook Marketplace, but you've got a friend who wants it.
They can have it.
So it's just, so brilliant and really affordable. And sustainable.
Yes.
There you go.
Fits all criteria.
Yeah.
And the next thing was nappies.
Yes.
Because I had a lot of questions about these, because we didn't end up going for them, because I just got very confused.
Yeah. The big decision we made, the 2 big decisions I think I consciously made at the beginning with Albert 8.5 years ago was to breastfeed for a variety of reasons, but sustainability being one of them, because I didn't want to buy into the packaging and the cost of formula.
It is expensive.
And the second thing was cloth nappies. And my husband was a real advocate on that. And I think when he first mentioned cloth nappies, I envisaged what a lot of people who maybe the first time they think about it think of, which is Terry squares and great big safety pins and buckets of nappy sand and soaking things. And modern cloth nappies are nothing like that. So we cloth nappied Albert from about age 3 or 4 months. We didn't do it from birth.
Probably the size is quite different at that point.
Yeah, so you can get birth to potty nappies, which are meant to go all the way down to newborn. But I mean, I had big kids, but the early days they wouldn't really fit in them. So we did disposables for Albert for the first 3 or so months, and then got into cloth nappies. But with Monty and Wilfred, my second and third, we went straight in with newborn nappies, but we were more confident with it.
That makes
sense. And we've loved it. It is a bit of extra work.
My thing was about cleaning them. So I was trying to work out if I had to, because then at the end of the day I thought, I'm doing a lot of washes anyway. Actually, it might not be more washes. But at the time I was like, well, is it helping the environment if I do more washes? My head was thinking about it, and I couldn't get around if it was actually good or not.
So I think there's 2 things there. I think the first thing is you have to be happy that your washing machine washes, and that actually you need to kind of be all right with that. Because I know that for some people they're like, but will it ever get clean enough? Yeah, it will. Modern washing machines are really efficient and really good at cleaning stuff. They are also really efficient. So you have to remember that your washing machine doesn't use a massive amount of water. And overall, yes, with cloth nappies, you do save, you have a reduce carbon footprint.
Yeah.
There was a really good paper produced last year by, I think, DEFRA, which was really comprehensive about the carbon cost of disposables and cloth nappies.
Yeah.
And I went through it because I'm a geek and I love a good paper, and went, yeah, but have they thought of? And yeah, they had. It was a really decent one because I think sometimes people, when they're saying, oh, they're not that environmentally friendly, go, well, you're washing every day and you're putting them all in a tumble dryer.
Yeah.
And in reality, and you're buying brand new.
Yeah.
And in reality, those are three things we didn't do. Didn't buy cloth nappies, all of them brand new. Some of them are, but a lot of them were from second-hand sites and from people who tried things and then they hadn't worked or whatever. Yeah. So we've got a lot of second-hand cloth nappies, and we really should wash every 2 days, but quite often it becomes 3 or 4. When there's a full load of nappies, we rarely tumble dry. So when you put all those things together, actually that reduces carbon footprint. But I suppose if people have never seen a cloth nappy, and they are really, I feel like they're getting more and more mainstream.
We know a lot more people who have them now.
Yeah. So they're a fabric nappy. They're cut, if you like a disposable. They've got a plasticky fabric. It's called a polyurethane laminate pull, which you use in like making like raincoats as well and things like that. But it's not rustly. I mean, it's a very high tech, soft fabric on the outside. And then there are different sorts, but the most common is a pocket nappy. So it's got a fleece inner and then a pocket at the back where you stick a load of like absorbent pads.
Oh, okay.
And you can get them made of microfiber. Now, of course, there's implications with that because you've got microfibers going into the water, of course, and blah, blah, blah. But highly absorbent, quick absorber. Great for an older kid who's going to like and quick wheeze because it's going to capture it all. And then you can get pads made of maybe cotton or hemp or bamboo. Again, there's all sorts of sustainability issues there, and you need, whatever. But they're absorbent.
Yeah.
And you pop them in, stick it on baby. Put it on baby like you would with a normal nappy. They might have Velcro, or some of ours have got poppers. They've also got. Ours have got ways in which you can like popper them down to make them fit smaller. And then you can expand them as baby grows. And then when you change your kids, you wipe them with a cloth wipe rather than a disposable wipe. You do have to flick a poo in the toilet. But technically, if you look at your disposable nappies, you're meant to do that anyway. But there we go. Flick a poo in the toilet and then pull the pads out and throw it in a bag or a bin, and then you just empty it in the washing machine. Stick it on a rinse, stick it on a really good wash, hang them up to dry. Maybe near a dehumidifier if it's the middle of winter or things like that. We
often ask because we don't have a tumble dryer, so that's what we have to do anyway.
There you go. Yeah, with dehumidifier is a great way of like reducing things. I have to say, when I got my third child, I also got a tumble dryer. It just wasn't working. But we've got a heat pump tumble dryer, which is slightly more expensive, but are cheaper to run and are much more energy efficient. Yeah. So again, as I said, I'm not perfect.
No, well, I think it's all like a balancing act. Yeah. So you have to try and see what can you do, what can't you do.
Absolutely. And I use it on days that I need to, and I don't on days that I don't. Yeah. But, there's 5 people in the house. There's a lot of socks, a lot of dirty pants.
Yeah, so that's a lot of clothes to wash as well.
What's very interesting, though, is that looking at the paper, this DEFRA paper about the environmental impact, the carbon impact of cloth nappies, is... it actually really upset me because I believe one child... saves the same in cloth nappies as opposed to disposables, saves the same amount of carbon as a 400-mile journey.
Wow. It's a lot, isn't it?
Well, for me, that felt like not much at all. That's like driving from Yorkshire to London and back again, and that's it. I know it's over 2 years.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think that's not... Because there is a carbon impact of creating something new.
Yes.
And bamboo and cotton are very water intensive in areas of the world that don't necessarily have that. So there is quite a high... I mean, they say this with canvas, like fabric bags. Yeah. You need to use them 100 times before they're better than a plastic bag. Do not go and get a plastic bag. That's not what I'm saying. But the point is that actually... We need the overall thing about everything is we need less stuff.
Yeah.
We need fewer plastic bags, fewer
I think this just with
bags.
toys, with Lindsay times. when people say, what can we get her? I often think nothing.
No.
She has, not in a mean way, she has everything she could possibly need. And because she's currently an only child, all the family just give, and it's lovely, but you're like, she's only one child. And she has far too many toys that she does not play with already. So we keep going round and doing a bit of a chuck out just to try and keep down. So one of the churches near us keeps doing like children's little sales. So we just donate loads of stuff to there.
Brilliant.
And this time, the woman who runs it was saying, "Oh, going to be doing another one," and she hasn't run it yet. But I keep being like, "You're still not going to run it. I've got more stuff.
I've got.
Can I please bring you more things?
Wait for you.
They're just going to be given to you."
Well, I'm loving this because at the moment, Wilfred and Elliot are playing with the Octopod. And the Octopod was in a bag of stuff to throw out. And the children found it, and now the Octopod and all the assorted Octonauts
are all back.
Stuff is all back. I mean, that, again, was second-hand, third-hand, I think, maybe. It was a birthday present from Albert that came from friends, and I know they did not buy them brand new because they are big advocates of buying kids second-hand stuff whenever you can. Yes, so this is what happens in our house, especially with 3 kids ranging from 18 months to 8, is that there's so much stuff that I would like to get rid of. And then the 18-month-old finds it. Or suddenly they're... But I couldn't possibly live without this. My older kids are loving Duplo at the moment. And this is the thing, is that actually Duplo lasts for ages, and those key toy things... last for a long time. It's just quite frustrating when you're like, I quite like to minimise too much stuff. And that's what we've just got to keep remembering, is that they don't need all this stuff. And I think clothes is another thing. Yeah. I think it's so easy to go to the supermarket and go, oh, that's a really cute dinosaur top, or a really cute pair of, unicorn leggings, and it's in a 5-pack or a 3-pack or whatever, so I'll buy the whole pack. And actually you then count up and your kid's got 20 pairs of trousers. Do kids actually need 20 pairs of trousers? I mean, they don't need 5. Let's put it this way. They need more than 5. Yeah. Unless, well, I mean, I don't know who's managing on just 5 pairs of trousers. But they don't need 20.
No.
But it's so easy to just
And this
do
is
that,
our
isn't
problem
it?
with Lily. I know now we've bought her stuff, and because she's very opinionated, she just doesn't wear them. She doesn't like them. Yeah. And I keep thinking, should I hang on to it just in case? And part of me goes, oh, but she grows so quick. You know what? I don't know if it's worth it.
No.
So now we've made the thing. If we go out and buy clothes, I like to bring her with me. Because I'm like, it's too many times now. I've bought things and she's
old
looked
enough
at me
now,
like...
isn't she? That's the thing. We do need less stuff, but of the stuff we really need, like having...
Of the vital things.
Having another one. And again, that's about making your life easier, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's not about... punishing yourself, It's
about going, I don't want to fight every day.
absolutely. Just make life easier. Yeah. Definitely. But I quite enjoy because I quite enjoy craft and I quite enjoy sewing. And so I do like sewing clothes for the boys myself. The benefit being is that I can do the whole... I need an age 4 waist and an age 10.
Yeah,
actually, no, Albert's in an age 5 waist and an age 10 height.
Yeah, wow. So it's a big difference.
Because that's him. Yeah. And it does at least mean that things
they actually
falling
fit,
down.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. Tangent on clothing.
Yes, sorry. Tangent on clothing.
When I do it, there's always tangents. And then Elliot has to pick what to keep in.
Which tangents are we keeping in and which ones do not enhance the storyline?
Weaning.
Feeding.
Yeah. We did quite well with this at the time, didn't we?
Yeah, I just think all through our food journey, we've had so much food waste.
We have had a lot of food waste. It's true. But we did do well. We did buy local, from the greengrocers originally.
Yeah.
But I do feel like it was before we were paying for nurseries. We had slightly more money.
Well, I have to say, my pre-kid food requirements were quite high. I did go through period of only buying organic meat because not really from an eco perspective, but from just like the welfare of the animals and being. But
I prefer like local butchers.
Yeah, but right now I say that's not something that works with our budget at the moment. So yesterday I bought bacon that honestly 5 years ago there's no way I would have bought because I don't like pig keeping practices in Denmark. And sowing stores and things like that. But right now I needed to spend £1 on a lot of bacon. Because that's the budget we've got. And I think that's the thing, it's all balancing. And I think it is. I think with anything, but especially with thinking about sustainability, I did buy good quality meat that was more sustainable before, and so I did a good thing then, and so I can give myself a break right now.
True.
And I mean, it's the same like with going back to the cloth nappies. I know people who are just using them occasionally, or and every one cloth nappy, if you use one cloth nappy a day, that's 365 plastic
that's still a bit
nappies that you've saved from I would say landfill, but in reality incineration. And that's a positive impact you've made. And actually these things, cloth nappies, whatever, don't have to be all or nothing. You could maybe go, I'm going to just buy a few, or I'm just going to use them at home, but I'm going to use disposables at night.
Well, I think that's what Mrs. Becky will be glad I'm mentioning her again. My sister in France, she did I think she started out with like cloth nappies, and then she found it was too hard when she was out, so she would have them at home, but when she was out she'd like, I'm just having the normal ones.
And we've done holidays where it's like I was just using disposables on holiday because I mean, now being a cloth nappy family, if we go to a cottage anyway, does it have a washing machine? But also 5 kids. 5 people, 3 kids. Does it have a washing machine? Because I do washing on holiday.
Well, I think with that many people, you kind of have to.
You have to, because it's just we haven't got space in the car for a week's worth of clothes for everybody. But especially when we've gone abroad, or I mean, there was one awful. No, it was a great little time away where we were going to my mother-in-law's, and prior to that we were at a wedding, and so we'd taken all the cloth nappies, and because I'd gone, okay, it's fine because we're going to my mother-in-law's, but I'd forgotten really in the thinking this through, you can tell this is children on the brain, and that we were doing 4 nights in a Premier Inn before then, and we would have to wash in the Premier Inn. So there was one evening where I washed a load of nappies in the bath in a Premier Inn and stomped on them quite a lot in the bath, and squeezed them out between towels and hung them next to the radiator, and managed to get enough of them dry.
Just so you could.
Just to last that last day before we got to the mother-in-law's and did a proper wash. So yes, can you wash a load of nappies in a Premier Inn bath? You can. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it.
I was going to say, is it recommended?
No. And it's not a proper wash routine, but needs must. In the same way that it would if you had a kid vomit all over your car seat on your way to see BB's Land. But that's a whole other story. That's not to do with this.
Let's see what we've covered. Oh, travel. That's a good one. Well, Lily's made us do this because she still does not like cars very much. So we use a lot of public transport, but I will say it's because of our child. She's got better. She'll travel about, is it almost 2 hours now? He's looking like I'm being ambitious. Maybe an hour and a half. She can do that now comfortably. But after that point, you either have to quite a long rest, like a break somewhere for an hour to run round, or often now what we do is we get halfway, have basically a day out, and then continue our journey.
That's it. That's my life in my National Trust membership.
Yes, that's what we use.
Why have I got National Trust service stations? The middle class service station. Yes, that's the key way of doing it. I mean, we live in York, and so we do use public transport quite a lot. We are a 1-car family, and that's been a conscious decision we've made as a family. And so that does limit where we're going to live, because my husband cycles to work. But that was quite, because we did and I don't know, maybe I feel like a lot of people have this discussion or this consideration when they've got young kids. We thought, let's go and live a country life and go and get a small holding or whatever. Go and live by the sea.
We've had those discussions. And then we've gone, We want to be able to walk to a park, though.
Yes.
And we've now found once we have a child, that's a godsend if you can walk to a park.
Absolutely. And that was a lot of the consideration and that we had, and the same conclusion we came to. And especially, I did the whole, well, if I'm on maternity leave, I want to be in the city enough that we can go in the pushchair to a baby group or onto the supermarket and don't have to put a baby in the car every time we want to go anywhere.
This is because I grew up on a farm. I love the countryside. Elliot grew up in the countryside. And we're like, we would love to live. And when we did live in the sticks together, we were like, it's actually really difficult getting out to do things. And now we have Lily. I'm like, even when we plan holidays, I don't like being too far out in the sticks because I go, but I want us to be able to walk somewhere because she wakes up so early. You want to be able to get somewhere quick.
Yeah.
So.
And I think we've sort of made the decision to stay here in West York, and a lot of that is about access to things. And also I'm now thinking, actually, I'm going to have it's not, you get so consumed, don't you, in the baby stage and in the toddler stage. We're going to have teenagers before we know it, really. I mean, everything, when you're in the stage, it takes forever. But when you look back, it's gone, it was a blink of an eye. And I am liking the fact that I'm going to, the kids are going to be able to say, I need to go to Scouts.
And you can go,
off you go.
Yeah,
get on your bike,
the bus,
get the bus, whatever, walk.
Yeah.
And that's the benefit of being in a connected place. I mean, big travel wise, we fly. We're very lucky that my aunt lives in Spain, so we have access to holidays.
That's
affordable
nice.
Family holidays with my aunt. But I'm trying, I did think that our long-term plan would be we'd only fly every other year rather than every year. I don't know. At the moment, we've got access to really affordable holidays.
Yes, you're like, we're going to go.
So let's make the most of it. And I've just stopped teaching, so there's the benefit of being able to
go out
to sneak just out of term time, which therefore makes everything a lot more affordable. Anyway, but I think one of the biggest barriers to sort of people living sustainably is the obscene price of railway fares.
Yeah, it is.
And we have to, as a country, we have to solve this problem because it is ridiculous that it is so expensive. And I think if you're a single person going from, say, York to Birmingham, then maybe an in advance rail fare works out affordable. But once you've got 2 or 3 people, even in advance, even 12 weeks in advance, it is significantly cheaper to get in your car.
Yeah,
and the environmental impact of that is huge. Yeah. But we can't have it that making the environmental choice is so much more expensive than the other. That's just not on. And
I also
it's one of my biggest
I feel like we pay a lot to get on the train, and they're not very reliable. And I'm always like...
you do live, I have to say, on one of the least reliable lines in the world, in the country, because that York to Harrogate line is awful.
It's always delayed.
Always delayed.
It's not normally by a lot,
but it's a single tracker. They've got a little coin they have to put in the driver's cab. It's just awful.
Yeah. And I'm always like, we're really lucky because you can get to York quite quick. But the problem is, if you need to change at York to get another train, you have to get an earlier train, even though theoretically your train should get there on time. No. So I always end up there maybe 1.5 hours early because I'm like, I know if I get the other train, it will be delayed. I will miss my connection.
Yeah. It's just, I had a really nice vision of a great family day out where we'd sort of get to the train station and roll a dice, and that would tell us what platform we were going on, and then we'd pick a random number and that would tell us the stop we'd get off at, but you can't afford to do something like that. You can't afford to not book it in advance 4 weeks.
No.
Even with your family rail card.
Yeah. Well, we currently have a 2 together rail card.
The good old 2 together, Yeah.
But once Lily's got to pay, then
well, the friends and family rail card is great if you're going to. And actually, if you're doing one journey, quite often it pays for itself in one journey.
That's what we said.
Because
if you
the
travel
prices
far
are so
enough,
high.
you're like, hey, paid for itself this time. Yeah.
It's just frustrating.
It is.
My biggest bugbear, I would say.
because my sister lives in France, I have to compare these wonderful things all the time.
Yeah.
Goes, oh, well, it's so... I'm like, of course it's cheaper, but of course it is.
I know.
So it just depresses me. I don't like to hear, but she often tells me, and then they do this. I'm like, well, that's great.
I know. My husband's a bit of a train geek, and I get lots of... Well, in Germany, of course, you can just for like, 10 euros go anywhere.
Yeah,
that'd be the best. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So yes, we do for long haul use the car more than I would like, but it's just
We
too
just have to
practical,
sometimes,
and the cost
yeah.
is, and again, that's about balancing things up,
Yeah.
isn't it? And
We've got one point here we wrote.
oh yeah,
That we tried to use those eco tablets and we found they did not wash as well.
for the washing.
Yeah.
Was it the sort of nuts in the ball thing? No.
I don't know what it was.
I think this
It's
is the
one
thing.
of those companies that was online and I thought it looked good. And we bought them and we really tried and we did use them all, but...
Oh, was it a small?
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's sometimes... Yeah, it's a difficult thing, isn't it? If you feel like something's not working.
Yeah.
But I think you have to just not let that put you off everything.
Yeah,
in the same way that one unfunny female comedian doesn't mean that all female comedians are unfunny, which is a bugbear of mine. Shampoo bars quite often don't foam up in the way a traditional shampoo does, because they're lacking the terrible chemicals. The
thing that makes it
foam. But that doesn't mean it doesn't work.
Yes, yeah.
And it's about finding the right one for you. But actually, like shampoo is one of the things that I do use a mixture. But for me, I made the decision to wash my hair less frequently.
Yeah, I think kids did that to me, to be honest.
I mean, it wasn't a conscious decision. I just decided that once a week was a privilege.
Yeah.
It's because they take all the time off you, don't they?
Yeah.
I'll just have a shower. No, you won't.
No. And then if I have a bath, she wants to be in the bath. And I'm like, well, I can't really do anything now.
I just want to have a nice bath.
And sometimes I'm like, I just want to shave.
Yeah, but now I can't have the razor out because you're here. Yeah.
And also I wanted that thing where I wanted to be like, because she's a girl, I want to be like, we don't have to shave.
No.
So I'm trying not to make her see me shave and think she has to do something.
Yeah.
But at the same time go, my bath was primarily for me to do this luxuriously, so I don't have to stand in the shower
having my nice me moment.
Yeah. And I was like, and now you're here, and now I haven't got anything done. That's why I was here.
Yeah.
What is your top tip for being what did you say? Sustainable? Environmentally conscious, maybe?
Environmentally conscious.
Yeah.
Top tips. Well, yeah, it's a good one, isn't it?
You've got a great
I mean,
tip.
I've got practical. I mean, so one of the books I read had the whole, like, I think people know the 3 R's, the reduce, reuse, recycle. But actually, I think there's 5. Starting with refuse, which is actually just saying no to stuff that you don't need, or that the packaging's terrible, or whatever. And trying to, I mean, I think we've made big steps in the Happy Meals as a society, and in Easter eggs, in the amount of packaging, because enough people went, these don't need to be plastic, and it's unnecessary.
And a lot of Kinder Eggs now, they have the little cardboard toys in them.
Yeah. And rubbish toys.
Yes.
It means that the toy is even worse than it was before. It's
and Lily breaks
waste.
it within 5 seconds.
Yeah, and they've maybe ruined Happy Meals with these cardboard things that slot together. But anyway, books. The books are great on a Happy Meal. There you go. That's not very sustainable to get Happy Meals, but sometimes that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
And actually, collectively as society, if we say no to enough of these stuff and say, actually, do you know what? I don't even need a paper bag. I can put it in this, in the other bag I got from the shop I've just been to, or I can put it in my backpack, or I can just carry 5 boxes of cereal home inconveniently because I'm going to make a point. So refusing has to be your number 1. And actually, if you go down that refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle's 4 of 5. And actually, I think a lot of people think recycling is the answer. It really isn't.
No, this is something I thought. So often, because I'm terrible I drink lots of water, but I often get all the big plastic bottles. And in my head, for ages, I was like, well, I'm recycling all the bottles, so that's fine. And then I was like looking into it, I was like, there's still a lot. With recycling, it's good, but it's not.
No, the trouble is with plastic specifically is you can only recycle plastic once.
Yeah.
It then goes into roads, which is kind of micro landfill. I don't know. And so, if you can use glass, if you can use tin, but quite often that's a more expensive option.
No,
so it's really difficult. It's really difficult. So, but refusing and then reducing our use, and then are sort of the key big things. That there are lots of little things you can do, but also I think my biggest tip is don't beat yourself up about it, and just be chill about it, because every one little decision you make is a positive decision. You know, giving up one little thing, you know, going, oh, I'm going to try this solid shampoo bar for a bit and see if it works. You know, that's making an impact. Or wash your hair less frequently, which you're doing anyway because you've got small kids. And you'll find you only go through 2 bottles of shampoo a year.
That's true.
So actually the amount of shampoo you're going through is very small. It's actually got a very low. I remember being part of a group and somebody was talking all about how they were making their own yogurt and how great and environmentally conscious they were, because they were going to make their own yogurt and they purchased a yogurt maker to do it, which I then went, oh, great. Well, that's been shipped from China. That's a load of plastic electronics, which are never going to really have the same carbon impact as going and buying large tubs, you know, 500 gram or 1 kilo,
I know what you mean.
The big Greek yogurts. You're never going to offset the carbon from that. Now, if you want to make your own yogurt,
if it's fun to do,
absolutely, go ahead. If you can get a second-hand yogurt maker, I'm a bit more on your side. But if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. It's just, don't be fooled that thinking making your own yogurt is going to save the environment, because it's not if you're buying a brand new yogurt maker from Argos.
Well, thanks so much to Fran for joining us on this episode. Updates from then to now. How's it been with Lola?
I'd say it's been pretty similar. Like, we've done potty training early again, which means we've used less nappies. She did breastfeed more, but I don't know if that's like helped the kind of environmental factor. I
think overall the key thing is that nothing's really changed. I think everything we sort of did with Lily, we kind of do now. Like, we're living much the same life.
Yes.
I suppose really that we've not incorporated Fran's tip as much. The environment isn't part of our decision-making process any more now than it probably was the first time round raising Lily. So like, just on a daily basis with our kind of decision-making about anything really.
I think we're just lucky that normally the money-saving things are also the environmental things. So like, we still get loads of stuff from Facebook and Vinted and things. But I think that's because it saves us money.
Well, that's the whole message, really, isn't it? Like, that's the whole, what Fran started with was like, we're probably doing more than we think. So we shouldn't beat ourselves up about it. And I think the same's true now as it was then. We do a fair bit. It's just probably not overly intentional.
It's not a reason behind it. It just happens to be a nice bonus thing.
And that's not to say we don't value the environment. A few of these summer episodes actually that touch on these similar, you know, this string of episodes that were about like consumerism, Montessori, and like the environment. A lot of them have a little bit of like a political undertone, and like some of the conversation we sometimes touch on it into like the landscape was at the time, and obviously that's changed a little bit since then.
Yes, that's true.
Here in the UK, but actually the practical realities haven't changed a lot.
True.
Like, despite some promises here and there, like, you know, railways have not yet been nationalised.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
none of the good stuff.
The education system hasn't progressed very far. All sorts of things like that. Just, you know, I thought, you know, it's been several years, but I thought we should maybe comment on like, some of this isn't individual choices. Some of it does rely on some of the wider political landscape.
And none of that's changed, really. Which you'd think, this is political. From going from a Conservative government to a Labour government, you would hope some of that would have changed, but it doesn't seem to have.
I've joined the Green Party.
Yeah, you've joined the Green Party.
Kind of environmental.
It is,
probably more of an economic thing than environment. But again, we're trying to not be political, but I feel like these sort of episodes, it's hard to avoid it.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
True. Yeah, I agree.
It's still quite core to our values. It's just when you're in the thick of parenting with little babies and toddlers.
Yeah, and you're juggling. Like, I always think of what is it? You know when they say like you're juggling lots of balls in the air and you can't really, like, if somebody chucks you another one, you can't cope. I feel like parents are like that constantly. So it's almost like if somebody goes, here, now the environment has to be like a really important part of it. You're like, I can't do that many balls. So it's not that it's like not a factor. It's just a very low down one when you're coping with everything else.
So like cloth nappies have never really entered our conversation. That's not really been, we've not been able to incorporate that. But still, you know, the little things, I think, you know, there's still some great tips in there from Fran.
Yeah, definitely,
so, you know, there we go. I hope it's been a helpful episode. Fun. I'm trying to end on a positive because this one could easily turn quite negative. Like, we're not doing enough. But, you know, we shouldn't beat ourselves up about it.
Yes, yeah. Just try your best. Like everything in life, just do what you can. Like, what was it? One of my sisters said, she always goes, well, you can't do what you can't do.
That's good advice. There we go. That has been the summer special episode for today.
Summer special.
The airwaves are closing, so it's time to go.
Airwaves are closing.
Yeah, because people listen to us through the airwaves or through their ears.
Okay.
In the air.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And they can close.
I mean, it's probably like through the internet, really.
Yeah.
It's not radio, is it?
Yeah, in your head, you're on the radio.
Yeah. It's a bit like the radio.
Our time is going short. We shall have to call it a night.
Go listen to another episode. This one's finished. This is a very professional ending.